The high price of self-loathing. That is the focus of tonight's Angle. What does it take to be a great salesman? Well, it helps to have sharp communication skills. But at a minimum, you need to believe in the product that you're selling. So how does America's chief salesman measure up?
Systemic racism is a stain on our nation's soul.
Her veins bulging, preaching the same hate, white supremacy, chanting the same Nazi phrases.
Lynching is pure terror. Lynched for simply being black. And some people still want to do that.
Which people want to do that still, Joe? I mean, if only America could sue him for defamation. And Biden's lieutenants would be named as co-defendants.
America has a long history of systemic racism. It is a problem for every American.
The president and the vice president ran on a very ambitious agenda, unwinding systemic racism.
We know we have work to do at home. That includes addressing profound inequities, including systemic racism.
With those endorsements, what foreign leader wouldn't want to follow us? Now, for over a year, the Biden administration has been trying to rally the world to join the efforts to sanction Russia for its invasion of Ukraine.
We built a coalition of nations from the Atlantic to the Pacific. NATO in the Atlantic, Japan in the Pacific. I mean, across the world.
But it turns out that few countries outside of Europe really care about what Biden says or does about Ukraine. They don't. The Washington Post today is reporting that the global divide on the Ukraine war is deepening, not shrinking. The world is far from united on the issues raised by the Ukraine war. The conflict has exposed a deep global divide and the limits of U.S. influence over rapidly shifting world order. Evidence abounds that the effort to isolate Putin has failed. Well, these facts are devastating. Since the invasion, our ally India has allowed its trade with Russia to grow by 400%. And 9 countries in Africa and the Middle East visited the Russian foreign minister in recent weeks. But wait. The Biden people are going to say, well, wait, Ingraham Angle, 141 out of 193 UN countries voted to condemn Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Wait a second. Here's the rub. Only 33 countries have imposed sanctions on Russia, and only a similar number are sending lethal aid to Ukraine. Well, no wonder Putin's GDP is projected to be higher than ours next year. To put it all in perspective, the Post notes that one well-respected survey estimates that 2/3 of the world's population lives in countries that have not condemned Russia's move into Ukraine. Wait a second. Wasn't Mr. Experience on the world stage and the unabashed globalist Joe Biden supposed to make things better for everyone? Well, the truth is, for decades, our elites have advanced policies that have made China stronger, made China richer, and thus more influential in the world. And these same policies have made America weaker and less influential in the world. And on top of all that, Democrats and the left have spent a lot of time and energy arguing that our system was built on racism and on evil, and that about half the country, because they voted for Trump, is racist and evil. Now, when they said all that, when they did all that, what did they think was going to happen? You do horrible damage to the strongest economy in the world with these idiotic trade policies. You refer to your own fellow citizens as white supremacists, super MAGA, far-right Christian nationalists. You even compare parents to domestic terrorists. You keep repeating the nonsense that democracy is under attack, and you expect that the world is going to rally to us and then say, yeah, let's follow those guys into another war. Iraq and Afghanistan were such resounding successes. Well, the former Indian Foreign Secretary, Kanwal Sibal, put it this way. The rest of the world genuinely sees this as a European war. They do not see a global conflict or the way it's presented by the West. And then there's South Africa. Now, remember, We're their biggest post-apartheid foreign investor, so one would think that South Africa is on our side in Ukraine, right? Well, after initially claiming to be neutral on the war, they're currently, right now, conducting military drills with both Russia and China. Now, this was after the Biden administration sent a formal warning to South Africa after we suspected one of their companies of funneling ammunition to Russia. By the way, the South African defense minister didn't even bother replying to our warning. Now, what does it say about the Biden administration that they can't even get their phone calls returned? Now, to use a favorite word of Biden's, look, resentment toward America, that's nothing new. But what is new is that we now have a White House that resents America, too. When the U.S. has a strong economy, a powerful military, and a proud America First president, the rest of the world is forced to pay attention whether they like us or not. Unfortunately, now, they're just paying us lip service. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.